chime in. Love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear all that good stuff. Shut this door. No interruptions. So it's almost Friday, TGIF. So I figured I might as well go ahead and drop these jewels on y'all before you get, on your Friday high. So as you all know, what's been going on lately? It's all over the internet. Puff Daddy caught up again with the shenanigans of what he's been up to. Uh, Puff Daddy, Aaron Hall, L.A. Reid, Russell Simmons. These are very prominent black men in the entertainment industry. And so that's why I call this toxic masculinity. Puffy, Aaron Hall, L.A. Reid, sexual assaults. It's statute of limitations fair for rape. Because, in New York, they just changed the law that they give you an extra window of a year to file charges against, the accused. You know what I mean? So the law is called Adult Survivors Act. New York permitting victims of sexual abuse a year window to file civil action regardless of statute of limitations. So I don't know if that means that if the state don't file charges that the civil actions can be taken. So that's something to look into. Well, what I want to run some by you guys that's serious about this because Aaron Hall, back in the '90s, he had R&B. He was one of the prominent R&B singers. He was also with Teddy Riley in the R&B group Guy. Back in the day, how they don't make R&B like they used to. So, the song that Aaron Hall had, "Oh I Miss You," that was one of my favorite songs, man. It make you damn near want to cry. Listen to Aaron Hall, and it made you miss your boo. You know what I mean? Any guys that's that's chimed in, when you have that boo in your life, you really want to, you know what I'm saying? You want her back. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just be singing in the shower and you just see R&B songs. There's one thing about R&B. If you just broke up, and please listen up, gentlemen, women too. If you broke up with somebody, you're not going to want to play all these R&B songs because you're going to miss them even more. And that's something that I can attest to. And believe it or not, I've had my heart broken a couple of times. And, I don't want my heart broken again or ever again. But don't listen to R&B songs, especially them old school, slow, make you, you know what I'm saying? Make you want to break bread, break bank, pull out the rose petals. Man, don't listen to R&B songs, man. Give it about 30 days, 45 days till you start listening to them songs so you get back to your senses. Because a lot of times dealing with love and relationships, you don't really have all your senses. You lost in love. Like some people, well, crazy in love, like Beyonce would say. So I want to go over some of the facts of the whole Puffy thing because, I don't really follow Puff like that, not anymore. Maybe in the 90s, what I'm saying? When I was in high school, they called me the Haitian Diddy or Haitian Puff or whatever because, football, we used to have the dress on Fridays. And I used to be one of the sharpest, I ain't gonna lie. So, Puff was one of those guys that gave us black men the aspiration to want to dress nicer, including Biggie, especially Biggie, with his swag. They made you want to dress nicer. Tupac was another one. They made you want to, take your time and put some on right. So when you talk to a female, she's not gonna diss you because your dress code wasn't right. But a lot of the music from the '90s were very toxic to our masculinity. They really kind of brainwashed us to act a certain way, talk a certain way, treat women a certain way. Um, even our neighbors, you know what I'm saying? You got that song by Wu Tang, cream, cash rules everything around me. And for a long time, I used to like, man, I really like that song, and I still kind of like that song, but I realized how dangerous that song was. You know, having money rule everything around you. That means you feel as if you can do anything because you got money. You can have any woman you want because you got money. You can disrespect anybody you want to because you got money. And I've been in them shoes. I've been in situations where I had, $10,000, $20,000 on me. Buying dope or buying any car I wanted to, up to a degree. I wasn't no key player, which means I wasn't dealing with keys, nothing like that. A lot of ounces and quarter keys. Um, in fact, I didn't even get rims on my car. In South Florida, it's a big thing to have a nice car and rims and stuff like that. But I didn't get rims because I didn't want to have to shoot anybody that was trying to rob me because of my car. Shit, I know a couple people who died or almost died, because they got robbed. So a lot of this music that I listened to back then, I don't listen to now. Like, I'm a big Tupac fan. I don't even listen to Tupac music like I used to. And I could go on and on and on. But regarding the whole Puffy situation, he's going to lose a lot of money, a lot of credibility. They always talking about somebody canceling themselves out or the internet canceling somebody. If that was ever true, Puff Daddy's being canceled right now. He looked at very shady right now. There's been speculations of him being bisexual, sleeping with a plethora of men, young men. These sex parties that he has or been to. I've seen a lot of pictures of him in compromising positions, let's say that. And I never really paid too much attention to it. But now, with the recent case that he just settled, it's kind of making some sense now, and he just literally settled this case in New York, literally within 24, 48 hours, with, his first victim. Well, the first one that actually stepped up. Now, he settled this case, but now there's two other cases that's popping up, and one of them has to do with 1991 when he was with Aaron Hall and some woman that he forcibly had sex with her, and once he was done, Aaron Hall came into the room, and then he raped the female, and they call her Jane Doe because they don't want to release her name or whatever to the public. And the problem with that is with this case is that it was so long ago. We're talking about 30 years ago. And one of the questions, well, the question that I posted with this topic here was, is a statute of limitations fair? Because different states have different rules, and how long can you wait to say something? Some females, some girls, and boys too, could have been raped back when they were elementary, middle school, high school, and don't say anything because they are, they're scared, they're fearful for their life, or they're the guy who assaulted them is threatening them. I even growing up in high school, but growing up, there was a young woman when I was in high school that told me that a football player on the team that I played with when I in varsity at Deerfield Beach High in South Florida, Broward County. Shout out to the Bucks. That this guy actually raped her, and not only just her, but her friend. And I heard rumors, in football practice one day that, and the guys in the locker room made a joke of it. I didn't laugh. I never found rape serious. I never took it as a joke. I always took it as something serious. I never laughed at it, anybody making a rape joke. And some guys to this day will make jokes about rape. I would never laugh. I never did, never will. And so when she revealed this to me, because she confided in me, she needs somebody to talk to. She couldn't talk to her parents. She couldn't talk to any of her friends. They didn't want her. They didn't. She didn't want nobody judging her. So, and she knew I was 100 with it, and I was on the football team or whatever. But when she told me this, I literally lost the eagerness to play football, and this was my senior year. So, being that this was my senior year, and when you're a senior, you want to play football. You want to get a scholarship. I know I was going to get a scholarship in track and field anyway. I wanted one in football. I knew it because track and field, because I already had went to state my junior year in track and field. So I knew that in football, I still needed to prove myself to the scouts. But I lost interest in doing it because how can I trust another football player that also did a lot of the prayers for the team? So I never stood in the huddle when he was praying. How can I? And we both played defense on top of that. How can I play with this individual, knowing that he's a rapist and possibly a serial rapist in high school? In my high school, some guys were able to get away with things, whether it's fighting, stealing, raping females, or even beating up their girlfriends. I vividly remember once, and it wasn't the day of a football game. I believe it was the day before. We played football Friday nights. So this must have been a Thursday. And we in the portables. The teacher was the football coach, and one of the students, also another player on the football team that played defense. I actually knew him since elementary. Knew him and his mom. He beat up his girlfriend damn near to a bloody pulp. Nobody called police. Nobody told the school authorities, as far as I know. And he was back playing football, the next day and throughout the season. So athletes, celebrities, whether it's entertainment, R&B, hip hop, and also athletes, whether it's professional, amateur, or even in high school, they're protected because of the money that they bring to an organization. And so when in high school and college, when you were playing sports, like me, for instance, I was a dual athlete. I played track and field and football. I brought money to the county, and that money to the county trickled down to the school. And if you're a football star, or track star, or basketball, volleyball, soccer, whatever the case may be, I don't want to leave out any sports. School's going to give you a favor. They're going to overlook certain things. And so statute limitations, I don't think there should be one when it comes to rape or murder. I think that if you committed those type of crimes that greatly impacted somebody's life, when someone is forcing themselves upon another person, you literally change their consciousness. They no longer feel innocent or sometimes even clean. Obviously, if you kill somebody, they dead forever. Everyone should have a fair day in court, just like Puffy. Even though he's being accused of these things, he should have a day in court. He should be able to defend himself. Aaron Hall as well, L.A. Reid versus Simmons. Versus Simmons left the country, with his allegations. And these are prominent individuals that we held to a high esteem. And this isn't just limited to black guys. This happens to white athletes as well. Look at Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger accused of rape twice. Ben Roethlisberger was accused of rape twice. He's a future Hall of Fame quarterback. Also won a Super Bowl, whatever year that was. And he was accused twice, and literally nothing happened to him. And one of the times, the last time was in 2010, a 20-year-old college student accused him of raping her in a bathroom after he got her and her friends drinks. His security guard pulled the girl into the bathroom, and then he forced himself on her. And she dropped the charges only because she didn't want to have, the media attention being him such a big star. But see, when women back down like that, which, I never could understand, but now I kind of do because I'm more empathetic towards women causes, whether it be the Me Too cause or equal rights for women, whatever the case may be. Just listen to the stories. You kind of see why a woman might want to, what I'm saying, not press charges. So I don't know if any women are watching this show or watching me talk right now. If you have a daughter or young ladies that are within your sphere of influence, you need to talk to them, not just about if someone had touched them because they possibly did. And you need to be direct with them. Don't laugh about it. Don't kiki about it. Talk to them seriously, and so you guys take the proper steps in pressing charges and getting her the counseling that she needs. Now, in that same token, and this goes for men as well, you need to talk to these young ladies. Let them know that you got their back. Also, let them know do not put themselves in compromising positions. Teach them self-defense. Teach them that no matter what happens, that you will defend them. That no one can hurt you, because a lot of times these offenders, because I've watched a lot of crime shows, and sure you guys have as well, FBI files, those what is it? Forensic Files, another one. American Most Wanted. So many. A lot of times, the predators, the pedophiles, what they would do is they would tell the victim that they were hurt somebody that they love. Could be a father, mother, sister, or might even try to kill them. But you need to let them know that, and don't just tell them, you need to show them that you can defend them and that you will defend them and you will take matters into your own hands. Now, I'm a father. I have 2 girls. So this same advice that I'm telling you guys, I'm going to have the conversation with them as well. Now, my girls, they going to know about that life. And so if anything was to even come close to happening to them, King Kevin going to handle it. And not that I'm some sort of gangster or a thug or anything like that, but anybody who knows me know I handle my business. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to put things all out there, whatever. Those who know, you know. And I've never been a chump, you know what I'm saying? And even more so as a father, as a papa bear, like I would like to say, I'm going to defend mine by any means necessary. And a lot of times, these young ladies don't have somebody to defend them, or at least they don't have a masculine figure in their life that they know they could go holler at in case something go down. There's a case where my cousin, who just got out of prison, by the way, but he told me a story some years ago, over 10 years ago, of this young girl in Jacksonville. I don't remember her age, but she was old enough to talk and play outside. This guy, and this was a black, black young lady, black father. The father's friend grabbed the girl, raped her in his house, and let her go back outside. He told her, "Don't tell nobody." The young girl told her father immediately, as you're supposed to do. Immediately told her father. Her father goes and finds this friend and shoots him in the head with a crossbow. Crossbow is like a short bow and arrow. Hit him point blank range, killed him on the spot. Now the guy is serving life in prison. And I don't think the justice system is right. And I'd love to hear you guys' opinion on this, on what I just said, because a lot of times, fathers, and they get caught, in their emotions and immediately go and kill the individual instead of being covert about it. Like, okay, I'm gonna catch some slip and I'm gonna handle it. They just automatically go in and kill the person, which I can understand because that's your child, that's your blood, your seed. Now, I don't agree with him getting a life sentence. I thought like, damn, they're not even gonna take consideration that his daughter was just raped and such and such. But Florida is like a different state. As a matter of fact, the statute of limitations in Florida, and I just had looked this up. I'm gonna read this read this to you guys verbatim because it's kind of confusing to me. Statute of limitations for statutory rape in the state of Florida is 3 years. In other words, the victim must bring forth and file any rape charges within 3 years after the commission of the offense to be legally binding and valid for prosecution. However, the state legislature has recently found ways to minimize the application of the statute of limitations, particularly on rape or other sexual offenses involving children. Thus, in Florida, a resident gets accused of statutory rape. Statutory. It is possible that the prosecution can commence at any time with no regard to the 3-year statute of limitations. So you just got to have a good lawyer in Florida if you ever get accused of something like that. Because I don't understand the laws there. And I'm from Florida. I live in Georgia now. And matter of fact, speaking of Georgia, if DNA evidence establishes who committed a crime of armed robbery, kidnapping, rape, aggravated child molestation, aggravated sodomy, aggravated sexual battery, there is no limit for starting the case, which is great. Which Florida do the same thing. Now, in the world of entertainment, we put these guys on high platforms, high pedestals, and they have access and lack of oversight. These artists are vulnerable, artists who are trying to come up and come across someone like Aaron Hall, come across someone like L.A. Reid, Russell Simmons, and Puff Daddy. They're vulnerable and hungry and sometimes starving artists. So they're willing to do anything to try to get on. You know what I'm saying? They'll do really, like, they'll go to a sex party and get a train rain on them. They'll let some guy, rape them or, force them to give them head. They'll, I come on and on and on. They'll do compromising things that will make them feel ashamed of themselves. They'll let, from what I was told, especially in the music industry, some guys, you got to get sodomized if you want to be up there. You know what I'm saying? If you want that platinum, double platinum album, you got to let these guys, screw you in the butt, unfortunately. And that's why I can never be entertaining, because I would never be down with something like that. I am strictly for women. I'm not even going to that. Just know this brother here ain't gay. Never will, never was, and never curious. But the power and fame and lack of accountability needs to change. And we can't, kudos that we were able to bring R. Kelly to justice for the things that he was doing. But we need to hold these artists, these entertainers, and whoever they are, whether even in politics. Look at Donald Trump. A lot of y'all voted for Donald Trump. He was even accused of sexual abuse before he became president, and he had to settle a $3 million, $5 million deal, which he thought was absurd, but he had to settle out of court. A lot of times, people settle out of court not necessarily because they were guilty. As a matter of fact, half the time they're not guilty. They just want to avoid going through the trial. They want to avoid having their names dragged through the mud even longer than it already has or will be. So, case in point, Michael Jackson, he settled out of court for that very same reason. He didn't want to have to go through the court, the legislation, and the court proceedings and the constant TV media attention. So he settled. And that might be the case with Puffy. Now, the fact that New York passed this Adult Survivors Act, as a matter of fact, because New York passed that act, 3,000 people, I don't remember the time span, but 3,000 new cases automatically applied under this act. And so they flooded the courts, filing these petitions, filing these court cases against these individuals. Puff Daddy, trust me, this is not it for him. He's probably gonna have 30 to 50 men and women, you know what I'm saying, filing civil court cases against him for just the remainder of the year. We got what, 6 weeks left of 2023. So he's gonna be in a he got deep pockets. If I'm not mistaken, he's probably a billionaire. I don't know what his net worth is, but he's gonna have his fair share of troubles coming up. A lot more coming up, I should say. But other than that, I definitely love to hear some of your points. What you guys thinking of what I just said? Any questions, comments, concerns? Do you think Puff guilty? Reid versus Simmons, Aaron Hall. And Aaron Hall, I must say this as well about Aaron Hall. I watched his Vlad interview last year, and at the time, I was appalled by how he was just talking. You know what I'm saying? Because you have this vision of Aaron Hall as this great R&B legend, one of the kings of R&B, one of the originators. Before it got really blew up, he was on the bubble. So Aaron Hall, R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm not, and the other names I'm going to mention, nothing to do with these cases. I'm just mentioning the names to make that clear. Joe, you got Cisco with, what's the name of that group? Ooh, tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. What's the name of that group? Tell me it ain't good enough for you, babe. I know that song, man. Somebody put in the comments the name of that song. I can't remember the name of the album of the group for some reason. But Jodeci, another group. Then you got the female groups. SWV was definitely one of my favorites. You had Mary J. Blige, TLC, another one of my favorites. Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton was one of the first women that I actually found attractive, like grown women, like, wow, she's really good looking. Like, man, she is sexy. She was the first woman that actually had those thoughts about, like, literally, not that I didn't find women attractive, but just like, as a young man, you'd be like, damn, she fine. That she was the first one for me. Mariah Carey, another great singer. I mean, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was more of the late 80s coming into the 90s, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of great songs came from back then. And I was just shocked that Aaron Hall was just talking to one about how he took women. He'll take a woman and do this, do that, and how he'll dog them out, or how he ran trains and sex parties, and how other guys watch him, screw other women. I couldn't believe he was talking like that. How, like, ask this guy or these guys, they'll tell you how big my dick is. I'm like, damn, like, I was just shocked, Not that I was a huge fan of his, but I knew of his music. So it's almost like a pastor that you looked up to, and then he's talking like this. You're like, damn, bro, and you're talking like this live on TV, for the whole world to see. And Vlad TV is one of the biggest platforms online. As a matter of fact, they're going to use that interview against Aaron Hall if prosecutors file charges. Also, Puff Daddy. And if you watch Puff Daddy interviews, you can see he was really on that gay shit. He was really pushing himself on men. I watched the Drinking Champs interview. One of them old, probably one of the first interviews they had before they came what they are today, the big conglomerate online podcast. But Puffy was like, it's Fabulous, Noriega, and a couple other guys, but he was acting real feminine on the show and really kept asking Fabulous, man, why you come party with me, man? But Fabulous was like, nah, bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he know what time it is. Man, I ain't messing with you, man. I ain't chilling. I ain't going to your party, man. You crazy. You know what I'm saying? Some people you just don't mess with. Just don't go to their house. You know what I mean? And just to go to their parties. And Puff is just one of those guys. So I don't know how the case is going to end up. I'm definitely going to, stick around and listening. The Puff, by the way, is 54 years old. Aaron Hall is 59 years old as of today. So these guys are very, you know, they up there in age. You know what I'm saying? So if they get a prison sentence of 20, 30 years, shit, that's it for them. You're not coming back with another you know, album after that. You know, 70 years old, 80 years old. You know, that's it. And by the way, Aaron Hall, and he talked about this girl named Gloria Velez, and he you know, and he was on a show with Bishop Don Juan. Bishop Don Juan was the pimp. So Aaron Hall, according to Teddy Riley, got on this pimp persona when he got some money. You know, now he want to bag all the girls. He want to show the world how big his thing is and how he can punish female. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she was 16 and he just took her in the hotel room and just straight smashed right then and there. 16. He didn't know if she was 16. He should say that he didn't know. He didn't know until they went to Jamaica. They were trying to get on the flight, but she wasn't 21, so she couldn't get on the flight. Was damn sure, but definitely wasn't 18, and that's when he found out that she was 16 years old. But he's still kicking it with her, got her pregnant. He has a son with her, so hopefully the son is you know, doing okay. That he's a good father to the son. Hopefully, that is the case. But man, with Puff, after Palms and Casey's settlement, two more women came forward accusing him of sexual abuse. Both suits were filed last week on the eve of the expiration of the Adult Survivors Act, a New York law permitting victims of sexual abuse 1 year window to file civil action regardless of statute of limitations. The filing details acts of sexual assault, beatings, forced drugging allegedly committed in the 1990s by Combs, then a talent director, party promoter, and rising figure in New York City's hip hop community. He was huge back then. They were doping women with roofies, drugging them, and you know, actually 1 out of every 5 women will actually come forward and report these cases, which is unfortunate. I also wanted to bring to your attention that L.A. Reid, there's a woman named Dixon. I'll call her Mrs. Dixon, and she filed a lawsuit against L.A. Reid and Russell Simmons for you know, sexual assault back in the 90s. Now she didn't, you know, she didn't come up forward, you know, immediately. Obviously, she waited 20, 30 years to come forward, but she said that she used to work with him or work for him, and he derailed her career. Now, L.A. Reid, of course, denied these things, but at the same time, when the lady's name is Drew Dixon, she filed a suit that this happened. The L.A. Reid's raped her twice in 2001 and later cut her budget and sidelined her artists and reduced her budget for videos, promo, and you all know entertainment, especially music, hip hop, and R&B. If you don't have the money behind you to promote your videos, promote your albums or the tour, you're not gonna make any money. Because back then they probably would make $1, if that, $1 an album. Actually, I remember that the numbers like 25 cents an album. Master P changed it so that he get majority of the money, but most artists would get a few dimes off each album sale. So in order to make money, you had to sell millions of albums. And you know, Dixon filed a lawsuit, who worked for L.A. Reid, who's the chief executive for Arista Records. Alleged Reid assaulted her twice. Dixon left Arista in 2002 and contends that her meteoric trajectory in the music business was cut short by Reid's harassment. So he pretty much blackballed her. That you know, once they were through, you know, once he was through with her, that she would have no career. And he was right. The career was destroyed, derailed, whatever you want to call it. Even Tupac. Let's talk about Tupac for a second. Tupac was accused of, I know, inappropriate touch of the buttocks was one. Let me get the exact name of the charge Tupac was, because I know that Hold on, Tupac. He went to prison for a couple of years over supposedly raping a woman. But a lot of people don't understand what actually happened was that he was in the hotel room where other guys assaulted her, and he got the pin for it because he didn't want to drop the dime on the other guys that was in the room and who actually did the thing. And that's another thing. You have these huge entourage. You don't know who everybody is. So he was charged with sexual abuse, sodomy, and legally possession of firearm. Tupac charged in 1994 for that case. So he was found guilty. Wow, on my birthday, 1995, February 7th. Sexual assaulting a woman during a encounter in his hotel room. Now, I watched the interview of the woman who said who was with Tupac in that hotel. I know they had they had sex, and then the other when he thought she left, other guys that was in the hotel in their own hotel room. I guess it was a suite, and they forced themselves on her. Now, the one thing I would admit that it sounds like, according to what she was saying and according to what Tupac was saying, and according to the reports that I read, that Tupac acted as if it wasn't his problem that these guys did that to her. Like when she came to him, confiding in him, like, look, these guys did this to me. It was like, kind of like a so what attitude. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say this, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you a hoe anyway. That's what I'm thinking he's saying in his head. But the case was November 1993. Wow, I wonder when the anniversary when it actually happened. But because we're in November now, Tupac Shakur and members of the entourage were charged with sexually assaulting a female fan who later to be identified as Ayanna Jackson. The Brooklyn woman who had previous sexual relations with Tupac a few days earlier claimed she was raped by Tupac and his entourage when she met them in a hotel room in New York's Parker Meridian Hotel. The late Ryman claimed that the conference was consensual throughout the entirety of the court proceedings and even pleaded his case to the public by talking about it on Seton Hall in 1994, which he shouldn't have done. But I believe he did that for, PR, you know what I'm saying? One, to, plead his case and also get the society to empathize with him, you know what I'm saying? To get them on his side. On February 7th, a month after Tupac dropped his third studio album, Me Against the World. Wow, and that's a hot album. I have that album. The late rapper was sentenced to 1.5 to 4.5 years in prison for sexually abusing the fan, but was acquitted of weapons and sodomy charges. He was housed at the Clinton Correctional Facility in NY, New York. During his prison stint, Shakur married his girlfriend, Keisha Morris, but the union was annulled 10 months later. I didn't know he got married. That's something. I'm reading XSL magazine, by the way. In the article that I was reading about L.A. Reid and Russell Simmons, that was from Rolling Stones magazine article. On October 12, 1995, after serving 9 months of his sentence, Tupac was released on $1.4 million bail, which was put up by Death Row Records. And later on, he would drop 3 more albums on the Death Row, which I never understood to this day. How can you be in prison, sentenced to prison, let's say 2 years, but not that against, because everybody know, you know what I'm saying, Tupac was one of the best rappers alive, if not the best. How do you get bail if you sentenced in prison? So I guess this is just an example of how money talks, you know what I'm saying, and bullshit walks. But I'm definitely gonna look deeper into that. I never understood that. Like, how do you get bail? Because I know he wrote a contract with Suge, supposedly wrote on toilet paper that he was going to do X amount of songs, albums with Death Row, and then they'll release them. But then, of course, Tupac died in '96. So it's in '96 or '95, but y'all know he died. So anyway, let me get going. I just had to drop this dime, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to hear some thoughts of what you guys think about, these cases and which things should happen. Drop comments, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on IG. If you're sharing this, King Kevin is definitely in the building. And the rape case that I talked about earlier that happened in my high school, I actually talk about that in my first book, Courage to Believe, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. This is my inspirational autobiography. I've written 3 books, working on the 4th one. You can find it on KevinDorver.com. And I didn't write his name, in the book, but it has caused some controversy, obviously. And I just hope that this individual isn't still doing what he was doing in high school. But normally, when people do these type of things, do it for a lifetime until they go to prison, or someone kills them. But I talk about that case more in detail, a lot more detail, and I kind of still hold myself, not to say guilty, but I have a sense of guilt because I allowed that situation to deter me from really playing football. I love playing football. I love watching it, but I love playing it. I love track and field a little more, obviously, because it's like a one man, one woman type thing. You have a chance to be to highlight yourself, so outside of the relays. I ran a 200, 400, 4x4, also high jump. I was a great high jumper as well. I love track and field, but football, like I had a lot to prove. You know what I'm saying? I was really on the come up, but I allowed that situation to really derail my football career. So anybody going through the same thing, I can relate. Women, and thank God I remember to say this: if you are ever in a situation where you have been assaulted and you don't know who to turn to, you don't know what to do, don't know who to call. Um, if you know me, then definitely give me a call. You know what I'm saying? But there is a hotline number. There's an 800 hotline number if you guys are ever in a situation where you need to talk to somebody. And every state actually has their own. Every state has their own. Um, Jersey, New York, Georgia, Florida, but the national hotline for sexual assault cases. I'm actually going to put this in the description as well of this YouTube video. It's 800-656-4673. 800-656-4673. Be brave. Get the support that you need to come forward. Don't hold it. Don't wait 10, 15 years. Don't wait a year. Don't let these guys get away to go and assault other women. Be brave enough to step up. And I know it's hard to do it. I know it is. Sometimes even harder for most, especially the young ones, the young kids. My heart goes out to the young kids who have to go through sexual abuse. It really does. But please, I'm going to say the 800 number again. And as I mentioned, it's going to be in the description of this video. The national 800 hotline. Again, is let me pull it back up again. The number again, ladies and gentlemen, is 800-656-4673. Okay, so definitely, and if I could be any words of encouragement to you, reach out to me, whether it's social media, whether it be whatever, in my email. If I can, give some courage to you, I would do so. So please hit me up again. I'm gonna say that number again for you guys and share this, please. It is 800-656-4673. 656-4673. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you guys on that note. I've shared enough information. I'm gonna get back to my normal schedule. You guys know I talk about Haiti all the time, about what's going on in Haiti and what's been going on in Haiti. So as you can see, the two Haitian flags behind me. There's actually three. You can't see the third one. But definitely, much love to you guys. Please go after your dreams and goals. Don't give up. Keep moving forward. Keep believing in yourselves. Know that all things are possible for those that believe. You know what I'm saying, in God and the higher power. So please, please, please get the help you need, the counseling, et cetera, et cetera. You can only imagine. You can only imagine how many rapes, child molestation, sexual assaults take place take places in third world countries that aren't reported, that don't get any help, that don't get the FC justice. These women take these things to the grave, you know, and in these third world countries, a lot of times it's their neighbor. They got to see every day. It's their father, it's their uncle, it could be their brother, you know what I'm saying, the teacher. If there is a school in the community, I know in Haiti there's, God knows, especially in Port-au-Prince right now, there's thousands of rape cases every day. I believe the number I read, there's a woman who works for a special division within the UN, and she's in Haiti quite a bit. She said every day she gets a report of about 15 reported rapes in Port-au-Prince, 15 each day. Multiply, and let me do it. Multiply 15 times 365. You know what I'm saying? 15 times 365. That's 5,475 rapes in Port-au-Prince alone. And these girls, they're not getting counseling. Well, there are some women groups, but they're not getting sufficient counseling, sufficient support. A lot of them are getting AIDS and dying. The Congo, same thing. Even more, because Congo, the DRC, is even bigger than Haiti. And as you all know, there's a big war for the natural resources in the Congo. About 7,000 people, 7 million people displaced from their homes, the biggest of world history. That's more people that were killed during the Jewish Holocaust. You have, there's thousands upon thousands of rape cases going on in the Congo, throughout Africa, Rwanda, Somalia, a lot of these third world countries and villages. Same thing, South America, Venezuela, countries who are going, like Venezuela is going through a lot financially, economically right now, ever since Hugo Chavez, the former president, was that died. You know, I was gonna say killed. Some people do believe he was killed by U.S. government. That's a whole nother story. So these things are very real. You know what I mean? I don't take it lightly. And so guys who want to joke about rape and taking pussy and shit like that, man, y'all busting me for real. Cause that's they ain't nothing funny about that. Nothing funny about it. Anyway, y'all, it's been a pleasure. King Kevin in the building. I'm out. Please support a brother. There's many ways to support, whether it's Cashapp, a website, or GoFundMe, Stop the War Against Haiti. I am a real individual who has put in God knows how many hours of work for my people, for my community. I will continue doing so. And you want to ask who's my community? No, it's not just Haitians. It's all black people. Dig? All right, bless up.